So, you love the ranked match atmosphere of Call of Duty Mobile, and you love sniping on all the different maps. You love search and destroy, but then there's this one map called Scrapyard, and no matter how many times you try, despite whatever corner, whatever angle, whichever gun you use, whichever way you head, it seems like you're getting sniped, and you don't know where from, and you don't know how. Well, in this video, hopefully I can clear up some things for you guys, and help you on sniping lanes for Scrapyard. Alright, so we're here on Scrapyard now, and this is going to be more of a lengthy video, kind of like a tutorial on different sniping lanes and how to approach the map Scrapyard as a sniper. Now, I have it set up with my mini account on my phone here, just to, in a private match, that way we don't have to worry about, mid-fights, gunfights, anything, you just simply explain how it is. First of all, we're going to be going over the defending aspect of Scrapyard, and then we're going to switch over and do the offensive part. Now, there are 4 things you can do as a sniper that are effective on Scrapyard as a sniper. First thing you can do, now keep in mind, in this warehouse across the map, over there, is where they spawn. Okay, as offense, you pick up the bomb, you spread out. They're kind of more in the, right back area around here, kind of, in the far back. So right off the bat, off spawn, one of the things you can do, since you have time advantage, I will show you from the other side of my mini account. If I am cutting straight across the A side, I have the time advantage to kind of just sit here as they're crossing this little area in the front here. It's very easy to get a pick. You can kind of just give it, 2 to 3 seconds. If they're not cutting across, I would suggest, staying longer than 2 to 3 seconds. One thing you can do, though, is if you're facing a better team, you can see they have, maybe a Season 1 or a Season 2 legendary frame around their banner, or you can just tell, you've seen them a couple times, you played against them, they're good players. One spot they like to cut out is this little door right here. It's a little slit. It's less of a time to get a snipe on them. They just like to, cut straight across. But if you're facing a lesser team, for sure you're gonna have maybe 1, 2, even 3 players cut across straight through here. So one thing you can do off of covering A side is just quickly make one slide, one jump, and kind of just scope in here to help your team out. Call, if you miss a shot as they're cutting across, just call it to your team, hey, one's going A, missed them, If there's nobody crossing, or you see somebody cross and you missed, one thing I would suggest is just, don't worry about it, unscope, make one more slide, one more jump, and you're already lined up with this doorway. I can't tell you the amount of kills I've gotten through this doorway, just countless. They come through and come through and come through every time, just straight up the middle, straight up the middle, boom, easy snipe. By this time, you've probably already had somebody on your team with an assault rifle. As you're covering this lane here, they probably already pushed up with an assault rifle, kind of more in this area. So they're kind of covering the warehouse for you, and you can tell if somebody else is there. You'll hear gunshots, your teammate or the enemies are shooting. So you don't worry about, kind of just camping here for a little bit, watching this doorway, and being afraid of anybody pushing you to the right there. Alright, so we're back here in the defensive spawn on Scrapyard for search and destroy. And another thing you can do to cover the A side over here is off the spawn, there's this ladder that takes you up to this metal grate that you can sit on. But there are a couple of things you have to keep in mind if you're going to risk going up this ladder. So let's say we spawn, we're going up this ladder, we want to try to take the high ground, okay? First couple things you have to be aware of. Don't just run up to this stairway, or to this window. Don't just sit there. Trust me, you will get sniped. Better players are watching different angles, and I will go over when I'm in the offensive side, which angles they're looking for, and explaining why you don't want to just run up to this window. So first thing you want to do, climb up this ladder. You're up on this metal grate. First thing you want to watch for is this lane, okay? They're spawning in this warehouse way over there. This way. But what they will do is they spawn, they push out, and they're in this little alleyway, kind of watching towards B side over here. Now what they should be doing is, if you see those cans, I'll be explaining the B side for a sniper, what are some good things. They should be watching here, because that is the high likelihood that from here they're going to get sniped from here. But some players, they slide out and they stay just behind this cinder block here, so just inside of it, to where the person on the barrel here can't see them, and they will check this window where we are currently standing. So first thing you want to do, climb up this ladder, go ahead, check, wait a little bit. If you see them cross through, no problem, forget about them, okay? call out to your team, you know, hey, we got 1, 2, maybe 3 pushing B. Just don't worry about it. Kind of make your way up to this middle window, and then the first thing you want to do is you want to check the lane across from A. You can still get maybe a late pick, or even as they're running up here or behind here from this door. If the better team will run through this way, you can maybe get a tip. I even sometimes like to, you know, just kind of lay down and then peek across. It's a matter of preference. The first thing you want to watch is this angle here. Kind of maybe just peek in and out, just making sure they don't snipe you. If you see nobody crossing, there's no reason why you can't just, you know, jump, slide out, and then start heading towards B. Because you can always just, you know, cover this lane with maybe one of your other buddies going through that warehouse. So first thing, check B lane. Second, check A lane. If you miss a snipe, see someone come across, you can go resort to the step 2 of the first way you can cover A. So just slide out, kind of just get over here and cover this doorway. You can even shoot through this metal fence if you just want to sit right here. Anything to help your teammates. If you miss the first opportunity, don't miss the second. Just get into a position to make that second shot. We're back up on where the second way to cover A lane is in this little window, and if you want, I don't like to, but some people do. They kind of just, you know, take turns from watching here to watching over here to watching back over here to watching back over here, and they just kind of sit here all day game because you don't really have anybody contesting. They can't really shoot you from this hangar. You have scope of mid and B lane, and you have it of A. So if they're in any of these 2 spots, you can kind of just cover A while this is covering your B side, and then when you want to cover B, you can kind of just sit here while this is covering your A side, and you can just, you know, sit here calling out for your teammates if you want. I'm not that type of person. I'm more of an aggressive player, so I will just, you know, go ahead and get out of the window and push forward to either B or to A like I showed you. Alright, so I've gone over 2 ways to cover the A side of Scrapyard in Search and Destroy. Now I want to go over 2 effective ways that you can cover B lane as a sniper. So first thing you want to do is you're going to want to head up the staircase that's right here, okay? And I'm going to explain why, but what you want to do is you don't want to go up all the way up, because I'll explain from the offensive side why you don't want to. First thing you want to do is you just want to barely start to zoom in as you're heading. So I will show you what I do from spawn. Is you head over to the staircase, maybe slide up it, and then you're zoomed in. They're jumping out of here. You don't even maybe want to go up that far. Maybe you just want to go like here, okay? This spot is such a good spot to get maybe 1 or 2 picks as they're coming across the middle, because only your head, maybe like here and above, is showing, and so it's so hard to make that snipe. I'll actually set up my mini later on in this exact spot and show you how hard it is to hit the snipe from the other side. But this is such a viable spot. You check once, you know, try to get a pick. If not, then go ahead and just make your way down and cover B-bomb from here. Alright, way number 2 to cover B side effectively is from spawn. You're just going to want to head all over here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use this semi as cover, crouch down, and maybe peek out the side of this barrel, or even on top, head glitching. They will be coming out of that door right there, straight across. And this is a good place to just maybe get out, peek. You can even lay down if you want, and just, you know, get them as they're coming across. It's really super fast. Such an effective way, you know. You slide out here, you check, you see nobody going across, you call out to your team, you maybe even push forward into this warehouse over here and get a flank on them, or you go ahead and just don't waste any time, watch mid a little bit, and then head over to A because you know they're rushing that side. Alright, so we're on the offensive side of Scrapyard Search and Destroy, and I'm going to be explaining 4 ways as well to possibly take on both the A and the B side. We're going to start with the B side today, as I have my mini set up on the other side to show how hard it is to make this snipe from B side. So what you're going to want to do is, to cover B, is you're going to want to go ahead and just slide outside of this window, and first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to scope in and watch this staircase. Like I said, people love to spawn in their warehouse and run up this staircase, but the time advantage is flopped. So you know how on the other side, sniping A lane, you have the time advantage? It's the opposite. On this side, you have the time advantage. So if you slide out and you go ahead and peek this window or this staircase, as they're coming up, you're going to be able to pop them right away before they can get a shot off to you. But as you can see, like I said earlier, that is a super hard shot to make, and it's a good spot as defense. Even if they have the time advantage, most of the time they're not watching this side. So first thing you want to do, watch the staircase. Wait for maybe 1 to 2 seconds. Trust me, it is worth waiting the full 2, maybe 3 seconds, because if you check, you know, if you're coming out, you check, okay, nobody there, then they pop up, you will regret it. You'll get sniped right away, and it's back to frustration. We're back to step number 1. So, go ahead, zoom in, 2 to 3 seconds, just kind of 1, 2, 3, okay, and then move on, alright? That's one thing you can do, and kind of just push up alongside your teammates. Another thing you can do is, you know, you're off of A spawn, or off of offensive spawn, you slide out, you don't even want to contest this person, you know, maybe making that hard snipe. Just go ahead and continue up to the rocks. They're not going to be able to see you at all. Like, by the time they've gone up, you've already crossed across, and you're moving on towards with your teammates up to B warehouse. Then maybe from here you want to kind of just glance over and see if anybody's coming through here, because sometimes people like to camp with MSMCs. Kind of just haphazardly glance to the middle, nobody there. Kind of continue through, glance again, because sometimes they're in this little container area with MSMC or already pushing through because they know you're trying to snipe or something. Then from here you can maybe, you know, check up top or that little spot where I told you they may be still camping. If not, watch down low towards barrels right there. You can kind of, from here you can see out of your peripheral vision which side they are, and just kind of play it as a team. Play slowly, wait for a pick, play maybe a 5v4. Alright, so we're back in the offensive position of Scrapyard Search and Destroy, and we've gone over 2 sides of B, which ways you can go, how to approach it, what angles to watch, to give you the best possible chance of getting that plant, getting that blow up, and just winning the round, so you can, you know, 6-0 these teams like you see them doing to you over and over and over again. So, we're going to go over a couple ways to approach the A side, but keep in mind, like I said, from the defensive spawn, over in that warehouse over there, they have the time advantage on A. Now, if you're more of a risky player and you trust your sniping skills and you want to take this risk, I'm going to show you one way you can challenge that lane with being on the fair ground. Yes, I said that right. I know they have the time advantage, but you can be on fair ground. What you're going to want to do is off a spawn, you're going to grab a nade. It doesn't really matter, you don't have to go that fast. You're going to want to push up to here. Now, keep in mind a little left of my cursor. Alright, I'm going to have my sniper out by now. As I'm flanking forward, I can see just the front of that van. Like, even here, they still can't see me. So as I'm running up, I see this van and I start to zoom in, maybe even crouch as you're coming across, and they will be sitting anywhere between here to there if they're sniping this lane, and you will be on fair ground. It's whoever pulls the trigger first. It's simple as that. You can win those gunfights if you're a risky player. Come around the corner, even crouch, maybe they're not expecting it, laying down, boom. You win that snipe, you push on with your teammates. Now, if you're not that risky of a player, or even if you are, let's say you are. You come here, you're looking over, nobody's here. What's the next thing you want to do? You're out in the open, you may possibly get sniped from over here, your teammates are pushing up to A. One thing you want to do is cover them. So, you push a little bit farther to your right, and you want to watch this window. Like I said, people like to go up that ladder, onto that metal grate, and they're just sniping down A lane. So, first, you peek this side, then you peek lane, and then if nobody's there, you go ahead and follow your teammates through this door. Like I said, you're going to watch a little bit to the right of the bomb. Don't peek too far to where they can snipe from this side and this side. You want to be on fair ground as well. So kind of just be hard scoped a little bit. It's okay to hard scope in Search and Destroy. I know people give it a hard time, but like really, if you're holding down a lane and you know you have a job, it's okay to hard scope. It's okay. It really is. So, like I said, watch the A lane, watch the window, push up with your team. Alright, so there's not too many ways to approach the A side without being risky, but I'm going to go through another one that may give you a better chance of maybe beating all of those, you know, those Arctic 50 users that use ACOG, or anybody that's using ACOG, and possibly even a normal sniper. So what you're going to want to do is off of spawn, you're going to want to head straight through this door here. You're going to want to head up, but not cross through here before you're already kind of making yourself parallel with this wall while sniping and crouching outside. Now you're on the same playing field as these guys as well, and they may be watching this spot right here. You know, as those teammates that cut across, they're not really watching this window. So you can have that advantage of just being here, peeking out, taking that shot, and then moving on with your team. If you don't want to take that risk, you can, off of the spawn, come here, go and then slide jump across. It's like maybe 1 second you cross across their screen, and it's really hard to make that flick shot. Even good players, I probably only have like a 30-70 ratio with hitting that snipe specifically. It's hard to do. You can take this risk, kind of be already set up. They miss that snipe, they're already flanking over to this door. And like I said, help cover your team from behind while pushing up on A-bomb. That's another thing you can do. Alright, so this is gonna go ahead and conclude the video for tips and tricks that you can use for Scrapyard to increase your chances of winning any game mode. Whether it's search and destroy, team deathmatch, or domination, these tips will help you as a sniper. Now, of course, these tips won't help you if you're not good at sniping, but it's okay. I strongly encourage you to get out there, practice with a sniper, shoot a bunch. It's okay, we all miss snipes. None of us are perfect. None of us hit snipes all the time. Just get out there, get some practice, put these tips into practice, and use them, and it'll increase your chance of winning on this map by a ton. I promise you it will. If you think smart while playing, you will win smart, and it'll look good. You'll be 6-0 in teams, and they'll be like, what in the world is this guy doing? You know? So, as always, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and until next time, this is Hat Trick signing off.